died in your attacks. Justice for the children who never got to grow up. Justice for the worlds you turned to ash. Queen Zara's hands shook. You want revenge? Maybe, Marcus said. Or maybe we want to make sure this never happens again. That depends on you. Suddenly, the throne room doors burst open. General Thok ran in with 50 fresh soldiers. These were not palace guards. These were the elite troops of the Vex Empire, trained to fight in the worst battles. Your Majesty, General Thok shouted. We're here to protect you. Marcus sighed. I was hoping we could avoid this. The soldiers raised their weapons and surrounded Marcus. Their armor was twice as thick as the guards. Their weapons could punch holes in starship hulls. Last chance, human, General Thok growled. Surrender or die. Marcus looked at Queen Zara. Your people never learn, do they? Please, Queen Zara said to her soldiers, don't fight him. But it was too late. General Thok gave the attack signal. Marcus moved. This time was different. This time he fought like the legend he truly was. He moved faster than thought, struck harder than steel, and never made the same move twice. One soldier fired his rifle. Marcus caught the energy bolt with his bare hands and threw it back. The soldier's own weapon knocked him unconscious. 2 soldiers tried to tackle him. Marcus spun between them and they crashed into each other instead. General Thok himself attacked with 4 different weapons. Marcus disarmed him in 3 seconds and left him sitting on the floor, wondering what had happened. In less than 2 minutes, all 50 elite soldiers were defeated. Marcus stood among the unconscious warriors, not even slightly tired. Now, he said to Queen Zara, can we talk about peace? Or do you have more soldiers you'd like me to embarrass? Queen Zara looked around her throne room. Her best weapons had failed. Her greatest warriors were beaten. Her mighty defenses were useless. She was completely at the mercy of one human, and there were 300 more just outside. What are your terms? She asked quietly. Queen Zara sat on her throne surrounded by her defeated warriors. Her palace defenses were broken. Her best soldiers were unconscious on the floor. Her mighty empire felt smaller with each passing second. Captain Marcus Chen stood before her, calm as a still lake before a storm. What are your terms? Queen Zara asked again, her voice barely a whisper. Marcus pulled out a small crystal tablet and placed it on the floor between them. Words appeared in the air above it, glowing like stars. The terms are simple, Your Majesty, Marcus said. First, all Vex forces will leave human space immediately. Every ship, every station, every spy satellite. Queen Zara nodded slowly. She had no choice. Second, you will return all resources stolen from human colonies. Every gram of metal, every drop of water, every seed of grain your people took. That could take years, Queen Zara said. We waited 200 years for justice, Marcus replied. We can wait a few more for our property back. The Queen felt shame burning in her chest. She had never thought about the stolen resources before. To her, they were just numbers in reports. Third, Marcus continued, you will help us rebuild what you destroyed. Engineers, materials, workers, whatever we need. And if we refuse? Queen Zara asked, though she already knew the answer. Marcus looked up at the ceiling. Through the crystal walls, they could both see the 300 human ships waiting in orbit. Your Majesty, you've seen what one human can do in your throne room. What do you think 300 humans can do to your worlds? Queen Zara closed her 4 eyes. She imagined human ships appearing over every planet in her empire. She imagined warriors like Marcus landing in every major city. The Vex Empire would not survive. We accept your terms, she said quietly. Marcus nodded. There's one more thing. Queen Zara's heart sank. What? You will send a message to every race in the galaxy. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that humans have returned. You want me to spread fear? Marcus shook his head. I want you to spread truth. Let everyone know that humans exist. Let them know we remember what was done to us, but also let them know that we're willing to talk before we fight. He gestured to the unconscious soldiers around them. Notice that all your warriors are still alive, Your Majesty. I could have killed them easily, but humans don't enjoy killing. We just do it when we have to. Queen Zara looked at her fallen guards. Marcus was right. They were all breathing. All would recover. Why spare them? She asked. Why spare me? Marcus was quiet for a long moment. When he spoke, his voice was soft and sad. because my daughter would have wanted me to. She always believed people could change, could become better. I'm giving you that chance." Tears ran down Queen Zara's face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm so sorry for what my people did to yours." "Sorry is a start," Marcus said. "But sorry doesn't bring back the dead. Actions will prove if your sorrow is real." Queen Zara stood up from her throne. She walked to her communication system and began typing. "What are you doing?" Marcus asked. "Sending the message to every world in the galaxy," she said. "They need to know." Her fingers moved across the controls. Soon, her words would reach billions of people across thousands of worlds. "To all races of the galaxy," she spoke into the transmitter. "This is Queen Zara of the Vex Empire. Today I learned that legends can be real. Humans have returned to the stars. They are powerful beyond our understanding, but they are also merciful beyond our deserving." She paused and looked at Marcus. "We attacked them 200 years ago. We thought we destroyed them all. We were wrong. They survived and they came back stronger. Today they could have destroyed us completely. Instead, they offered us peace." Queen Zara's voice grew stronger. "Let this be a warning to all who would harm innocent people. Humans never forget. They never give up. But they will forgive those who truly change." She turned off the transmitter and faced Marcus. "It's done." Marcus checked his communicator. "My people have received confirmation. The message is spreading across the galaxy." "What happens now?" Queen Zara asked. "Now we wait and see if you keep your promises," Marcus said. "We'll be watching, Your Majesty. We're always watching." He began walking toward the door, then stopped. "There's something you should know," he said without turning around. "What? You asked how many warriors like me humans have." Queen Zara nodded. Marcus finally turned to look at her one last time. "Your Majesty, I'm not a warrior. I was a teacher before your people killed my family. My specialty was ancient literature." Queen Zara's 4 eyes went wide with shock. "The actual human warriors are much scarier than I am." With that, Marcus walked out of the throne room. Queen Zara could hear his footsteps echoing through her palace halls as he left. She sat back down on her throne and looked out at the stars. The human ships were already disappearing into space, but she knew they would return if she broke her word. General Thok groaned and sat up, rubbing his head. "Your Majesty." "What happened?" Queen Zara looked at her old friend and smiled sadly. "We learned a lesson, Thok. We learned that some legends become legends because they're true. And we learned that underestimating humans is the last mistake anyone makes." She stood up and walked to her window, watching the last human ship disappear into the infinite darkness. "Send word to all our colonies," she ordered. "The age of conquest is over. From now on, the Vex Empire keeps its promises and respects all life." "Yes, Your Majesty," General Thok said. "And the humans?" Queen Zara smiled, and for the first time in hours, it was a real smile. "The humans taught us something today, old friend. They taught us that mercy is not weakness. It's the strongest thing in the universe." Far away in space, Captain Marcus Chen looked at the picture of his wife and daughter one more time, then put it away. Justice was done. His family could rest in peace, and maybe, just maybe, the galaxy had learned something about the price of war. Queen Zara sat on her golden throne, her 4 eyes glowing with anger. The massive crystal palace around her sparkled in the light of 3 suns. She was the ruler of the mighty Vex Empire, and today her generals were testing her patience. "Your Majesty," General Crick said, his voice shaking, "the ancient records show humans are dangerous. We should be careful." Queen Zara threw back her head and laughed. The sound echoed through the throne room like thunder. Her long purple skin shimmered as she moved. "Humans," she said, still laughing. "You want me to fear bedtime stories? Tales told to scare little children?" The other generals looked at each other nervously. They had served Queen Zara for many years. She had never lost a battle. Her armies had conquered 50 star systems, but the old records were clear. Humans were not just stories. General Thok stepped forward. He was the oldest and bravest of all her commanders. "My queen, I have studied the ancient files. 200 years ago, our ancestors fought against human warriors. The reports say they were different. Different how? Queen Zara asked, her voice cold as space ice. They never gave up, Thok said quietly. Even when they were losing, they kept fighting. Even when they were hurt, they found new ways to win. Queen Zara stood up from her throne. She was tall and powerful, with muscles that could crush steel. Those are myths, Thok. Stories made up by cowards who were afraid to fight. She walked to the huge window that showed the stars beyond. Look out there. I rule all of those worlds. My fleets patrol 1,000 systems. If humans were real, where are they now? That's what worries us, Your Majesty, General Crick said. Our scouts report strange ships near the border worlds. Ships using technology we don't understand. Queen Zara turned around fast. What kind of ships? Small ones, Thok answered. But they move in ways that should be impossible. And their weapons, he paused. Their weapons cut through our best armor like it's made of paper. The Queen laughed again, but this time it sounded forced. Show me proof. Bring me one of these mystery ships. Then we'll see if your human legends are real. Suddenly, a young officer ran into the throne room. He was breathing hard and his scales were pale with fear. Your Majesty, he shouted. Emergency message from the Outer Rim. Queen Zara's eyes narrowed. What is it? The officer's hands shook as he read from his datapad. Patrol Fleet 7 was destroyed, Your Majesty. Destroyed, Queen Zara said. That fleet had 20 of our best warships. What enemy force could do such a thing? The officer looked up with terror in his eyes. According to the survivors, it was one ship, Your Majesty. Just one. The throne room went completely silent. Queen Zara could hear her own heartbeat pounding in her ears. One ship destroyed 20, she whispered. Yes, Your Majesty. The survivors say it was small and fast. It used weapons they had never seen before. The entire battle lasted only 10 minutes. General Thok stepped closer to the throne. My queen, the survivors described the attacking ship as human design. Queen Zara felt something cold move through her stomach. That's impossible. The young officer continued reading. The enemy ship sent a message after the battle, Your Majesty. What did it say? Tell your queen that humans remember. Tell her we're coming home. The queen's 4 eyes went wide. Her hands gripped the arms of her throne until her knuckles turned white. Send Admiral Rex with the 3rd Fleet, she ordered. 100 ships. Find this mystery vessel and destroy it. Your Majesty, Thok said carefully, perhaps we should try to talk with them first. The old records say humans can be reasoned with if— No, Queen Zara roared. I will not show weakness to ghosts and legends. Find this ship and blast it into space dust. As her generals hurried to follow orders, Queen Zara sat back down on her throne. For the first time in her long reign, she felt something she had almost forgotten. Fear. Deep in space, a small human ship moved silently toward the Vex homeworld. Inside, Captain Marcus Chen studied the star charts with cold, determined eyes. 200 years, he said to himself. 200 years since they thought they destroyed us all. He looked at the memorial wall covered with pictures of human colonies that the Vex had burned. His own family's pictures were among them. Time to remind them that humans never forget, Marcus whispered, and we never forgive. The ship's alarm suddenly rang through the palace. Queen Zara jumped to her feet. What now? She demanded. The same young officer ran back in, his face white with terror. Your Majesty, Admiral Rex's entire fleet. It's gone. Gone. Destroyed in 15 minutes. The human ship is heading straight for us. Queen Zara's world began to crumble around her. Maybe the legends were true after all. The alarm bells rang through Queen Zara's palace like screaming metal birds. Red lights flashed across the crystal walls as hundreds of guards ran through the hallways. Queen Zara rushed to the command center, her royal robes flying behind her. Her 4 eyes were wide with fear and anger. Show me, she shouted at the technicians. The main screen lit up with images from space. There, moving slowly toward their planet, was a ship unlike anything the Vex had ever seen. It was small compared to their massive warships, but it moved with deadly grace. How can something so tiny destroy our fleets? Queen Zara asked. Commander Vex, her head of security, pointed at the screen. Watch this, Your Majesty. This is the battle footage. The screen showed Admiral Rex's 100 ships surrounding the human vessel. The Vex warships were enormous, each one the size of a city. The human ship looked like a tiny fish swimming among whales. Admiral Rex sent the standard surrender message. Commander Vex explained. Queen Zara watched as her admiral's voice came through the speakers. Unknown vessel, you are surrounded. Surrender now, or we will destroy you. Then came a voice that made Queen Zara's blood turn cold. It was calm, quiet, and completely fearless. This is Captain Marcus Chen of the Human Defense Force, the voice said. I came here to talk, but you chose war instead. Talk. Queen Zara whispered. He wanted to talk. The battle began on screen. Queen Zara expected to see the human ship try to run away. Instead, it did something impossible. It attacked. The small ship moved faster than light itself. It twisted and spun between the Vex warships like it was dancing, but its dance was deadly. Bright beams of energy shot out from the human ship. Each beam hit a Vex warship exactly where it would cause the most damage. One by one, the mighty vessels exploded into balls of fire. This is impossible, Queen Zara breathed. Our shields should protect us from any weapon. The human weapons go right through our shields, Your Majesty, Commander Vex said. It's like they're made of nothing. On screen, Admiral Rex tried every trick he knew. He sent ships to attack from all sides. He used gravity bombs and plasma cannons. He even tried ramming the human ship. Nothing worked. The human ship was always one step ahead. It moved like it could read the future. In just 15 minutes, all 100 Vex warships were floating metal graves in space. How many of our people died? Queen Zara asked quietly. All of them, Your Majesty. No survivors this time. Queen Zara felt sick. She had sent those brave soldiers to die against something they couldn't fight. The screen changed to show the human ship again. It was now entering their planet's atmosphere. Where is it going? Queen Zara demanded. Straight for the palace, Your Majesty, the technician said. It will be here in 20 minutes. Queen Zara's mind raced. She thought about running, but where could she go? This human had destroyed her best fleets like they were made of paper. Send every message we can, she ordered. Tell the human we want to talk. Tell him we can make a deal. Commander Vex tried to contact the human ship. Captain Chen, this is the Vex Royal Command. Queen Zara wishes to speak with you. The calm voice came back immediately. I tried to talk before. Your admiral chose to shoot instead. Please, Commander Vex said. The Queen made a mistake. We can fix this. There was a long silence. Then Captain Chen spoke again. I'll land at your palace, but if anyone tries to attack me, I'll turn this entire world into space dust. Do you understand? Queen Zara grabbed the microphone herself. This is Queen Zara, I understand. No one will attack you. Good, Marcus said, because humans don't make the same mistake twice. The screen showed the human ship landing in the palace courtyard. It was even smaller up close, barely big enough for one person. How could such a tiny vessel carry so much power? Queen Zara watched from her throne room window as the ship's door opened. White steam came out like the breath of a sleeping dragon. Then she saw him. The human stepped out slowly. He was wearing strange armor that seemed to absorb light. In his hands was a weapon she didn't recognize. But it wasn't the armor or the weapon that made Queen Zara afraid. It was his eyes. Even from far away she could see them. They were cold and hard like frozen stars. These were the eyes of someone who had seen too much death. Someone who had lost everything. So, Queen Zara whispered to herself, the legends are real. Her royal guards surrounded the human, but they kept their distance. They could feel the danger coming from him like heat from a fire. The human, Captain Marcus Chen, began walking toward the palace. He moved with the confidence of someone who had never lost a fight. Queen Zara realized that everything was about to change. Her empire, her power, maybe even her life. All because she had laughed at legends. As Marcus got closer to the throne room, Queen Zara finally understood the old saying her grandmother used to tell her, some legends become legends because they're true. The throne room doors opened. Captain Marcus Chen walked in, and Queen Zara came face to face with humanity for the first time. She was not ready for what she saw. Captain Marcus Chen stood in the doorway of Queen Zara's throne room. The Queen had imagined humans would look like monsters from the old stories. Instead, she saw something much more frightening. He looked normal. Marcus was not very tall, maybe 6 feet. His skin was pale from living in spaceships. His hair was short and black with gray lines that showed his age. But his eyes held the cold fire of someone who had seen entire worlds burn. "Your Majesty," Marcus said, his voice calm and polite. "We need to talk." Queen Zara's guards moved closer. There were 50 of them, each one trained since birth to fight. Each one carried weapons that could destroy buildings. Marcus looked at them and smiled. It was not a happy smile. "You might want to think about that," he said to the guards. Commander Vex stepped forward. He was the strongest warrior in the Vex Empire. His 4 arms were covered in battle scars, and his armor was made from the hardest metal in the galaxy. "Human," Commander Vex growled. "You will bow before Queen Zara, or we will make you bow." Marcus turned to look at him. "I tried to do this the easy way." What happened next shocked everyone in the throne room. Commander Vex attacked first. He was fast, faster than most people could see. His 4 arms moved like lightning, trying to grab Marcus and break his bones. Marcus moved faster. He stepped to the side so smoothly it looked like he was dancing. His hand came up and hit Commander Vex in exactly the right spot. The mighty warrior fell to the ground like a cut tree. The other guards attacked all at once. They came from every direction, roaring battle cries and swinging their weapons. Marcus moved between them like water flowing around rocks. He never used his weapon. He didn't need to. One guard swung a plasma sword at Marcus's head. Marcus ducked and pushed the guard into 2 others. All 3 fell down in a pile. Another guard tried to shoot him with an energy rifle. Marcus grabbed the weapon, spun it around, and used it to knock out 3 more guards without firing a shot. In 30 seconds, all 50 guards were on the floor, groaning and holding their heads. Marcus hadn't even broken a sweat. "How?" Queen Zara whispered. Marcus walked closer to her throne. Each step echoed in the silent room. "My people have been fighting for thousands of years, Your Majesty," he said. "We learned to fight against things bigger and stronger than us. We learned to fight when we were hungry, tired, and hurt. We learned to win when winning seemed impossible." Queen Zara pressed herself back into her throne. "What do you want?" 200 years ago, your people attacked our colonies," Marcus said. His voice stayed calm, but Queen Zara could hear the anger underneath. "Peaceful farmers, families with children, people who never hurt anyone." Marcus pulled out a small device and pressed a button. Images appeared in the air above them. Queen Zara saw pictures of human settlements, neat farms with green fields, schools full of laughing children, hospitals helping sick people. Then the pictures changed. Now she saw the same places after Vex attacks. Burned buildings, empty fields, graves with small headstones. "My wife lived on Colony 7, Marcus said quietly. "My daughter was 8 years old. They were picking flowers when your ships came." The pictures showed more destruction, more graves, more families destroyed. "The Vex Empire thought you killed all the humans," Marcus continued. "You were wrong. Some of us survived. We've spent 200 years getting stronger, building better ships, training harder." Queen Zara felt tears running down her face. She had never seen the cost of her empire's expansion. She had only seen reports with numbers, not faces. "We came back to give you one chance," Marcus said. "One chance to make this right. What do you want us to do?" Queen Zara asked. Marcus's eyes grew even colder. "That depends on you, Your Majesty. Humans can be very forgiving, but we can also be very, very patient when it comes to revenge." Queen Zara looked around her throne room. Her greatest warriors were defeated. Her best fleets were destroyed. A mighty empire felt like a house made of cards. "If I refuse?" she asked. Marcus smiled that cold smile again. "Your Majesty, you've seen what one human ship can do to your fleets. Would you like to see what 100 ships can do to your worlds?" The Queen's blood turned to ice. "There are more of you?" "Oh yes," Marcus said. "Many more. And they're all waiting for my signal." Queen Zara realized she was not just facing one human warrior. She was facing an entire race that had spent 2 centuries planning their return. Suddenly, alarms started ringing again. A technician ran into the throne room. "Your Majesty," he shouted. "Our sensors show 300 unknown ships entering our solar system." Marcus checked his watch. "Right on time," he said. Queen Zara stared at him in horror. You planned this?" "Of course," Marcus said. Humans are very good at planning. It's how we survived when your people thought they killed us all. The Queen looked out her window and saw lights appearing in the sky. Each light was a human warship. Now then, Your Majesty, Marcus said, shall we discuss terms? Or would you prefer to see what happens when humans stop being polite? Queen Zara realized that her choices were very simple. Make a deal with the humans or watch her empire burn. The legends were not just true. They were terrifying. Part 4. When Legends Fight Back. Full story, Queen. Zara stared out her window at the 300 human ships filling the sky. Each one was small compared to her massive warships, but she had learned not to judge humans by size. You brought an army, she whispered. Marcus looked up at the ships and smiled. No, Your Majesty. I brought my family. Before Queen Zara could ask what he meant, the palace shook. The lights went out for a moment, then came back on red and flashing. What's happening? She demanded. Her technician's voice was full of panic. Your Majesty, the palace defense system has activated automatically. It's targeting the human in the throne room. Queen Zara's blood went cold. The palace defenses were designed to kill anything they saw as a threat. They had enough firepower to level mountains. Turn them off. She screamed, I can't! The system locked itself when it detected the human weapons. Suddenly, the walls around the throne room slid open. Massive energy cannons emerged, all pointing at Marcus. The air hummed with deadly power. Marcus didn't even flinch. Interesting, he said calmly. Your ancestors built this to kill humans, didn't they? Queen Zara nodded, too scared to speak. Then they remembered us better than you did, Marcus said. The cannons fired. Beams of pure energy shot toward Marcus from every direction. Each beam was hot enough to melt steel. There was nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Marcus moved like lightning made flesh. He rolled under the first beam, jumped over the second, and twisted in midair to dodge the third. The beam struck the walls behind him, leaving smoking holes in the crystal. Impossible, Queen Zara breathed. Marcus landed softly and kept moving. He seemed to know exactly where each beam would fire before the cannons even aimed. It was like watching someone dance with death itself. How are you doing that? Queen Zara shouted over the noise. Practice, Marcus called back as he slid under another deadly beam. Lots and lots of practice. The palace computer tried everything. It fired faster, used different patterns, even tried to trap Marcus in a cage of energy beams. Nothing worked. Marcus moved through the deadly light show like he had done it 1,000 times before. Maybe he had. After 5 minutes, the cannons ran out of power. The throne room fell silent, except for the sound of cooling metal. Marcus stood in the center of the room, without a scratch on him. He wasn't even breathing hard. Your turn, he said to Queen Zara. My turn for what? To understand what you're really dealing with. Marcus pressed another button on his device. The air above them filled with new images. Queen Zara saw human children, but these children were different. They were training, 5-year-olds learning to fight, 10-year-olds studying war tactics, teenagers flying fighter ships. This is what your empire created, Marcus said. You didn't just attack our colonies, you forced us to change. Every human child born in the last 200 years learned one lesson before all others. What lesson? Queen Zara asked. Never again. The images changed again. Now Queen Zara saw human cities, but not like the peaceful farms from before. These cities were built like fortresses. Every building was a bunker. Every street was a defensive position. We spent 2 centuries preparing for this day, Marcus continued. Every human alive knows how to fight. Our farmers can pilot warships. Our teachers can build weapons. Our children can survive in space without air for 20 minutes. Queen Zara felt sick. You turned your entire race into warriors. You turned us into survivors, Marcus corrected. There's a difference. More images appeared. Human ships being built in secret. Human soldiers training on dead worlds. Human scientists creating weapons that could crack planets. We don't want to be warriors, Marcus said quietly. We want to grow food and raise families and explore the stars in peace. But you taught us that the universe is dangerous, so we became dangerous too. What do you want from us? Queen Zara asked again. Marcus looked directly into her 4 eyes. Justice. The word hung in the air like a blade. Justice for the million humans who